All right, everyone, welcome back to this conversation live. And today we're going to talk about something really important, which is the kind of expectations that people have, the kind of uh, the, the size of the market that most people actually are thinking mostly in their respective countries. According to me, that the cryptocurrency market is going to be much bigger than that. So this is the one topic that we're going to talk about, and also I'm gonna show you some interesting fact about the cryptocurrency market that I'm not sure whether you know of. Precisely, the graph of coin market, or probably how the coin market looked like just about 1 or 2 years back. So this is something that we're going to talk about on this live, and I think this is so important for everyone to understand, because as we all know that the cryptocurrencies and blockchain are the new technologies and new space. Of course, there is a huge volatility going on right now. The market can go down up to 80%, 90%, and then you have a bull run, which is sometimes maybe about 1000%. And so there is a lot of market volatility, but something that we have to stay grounded on, and something that we have to realize on most of the time, that where are we involved right now. And so precisely what I'm going to talk about today is that, that something that which is very common for every people to realize, that most people actually think that cryptocurrencies are only restricted to your country. And there's nothing wrong with that, because there have been no single commodity, no single product ever, not really product, but not a single trading asset that was global in nature. So if you are trading into share market, most of the share markets, the shares that you were trading in was confined to your regional area, like maybe your country only, but it was nowhere a global product or global asset, right? So what I'm referring to right now is basically this announcement that came out today, which is Huobi, one of the biggest exchange, has launched exchanges in 5 different countries. Now, what does it mean? Well, it simply means the assets that you're holding. Maybe you're holding Ether, maybe you're holding BTC, maybe you're holding XRP, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, US, whatever you're holding. Now, all of a sudden, people across the globe have access to it. More people across the globe have access to it. So, we are used to calculate prices and calculate the performance of an asset only related to a country. We always look at, okay, this is what the market is going on. These are the kind of billions of people are going to buy, millions of people are going to buy, or whatever. But something that we have to realize, that that's not the case with the cryptocurrencies and blockchain and bit market space. These products, these assets are truly global. So all of a sudden now, just because one exchange actually launched about 5 more partners, 5 more exchanges in 5 different countries, imagine the kind of and the amount of people who are going to have access to these assets that you're holding, right? So maybe how many people in Russia, Philippines, Taiwan, Indonesia, Canada. I mean, these exchanges, more the exchanges, more the exposure to the market, more and more people will get started and involved. And this is something that we realize, that on one hand, what we see is really the market being so volatile. Bitcoin price not going really up, Ethereum struggling at $295. So yes, everyone thinks that it's a bear market, it's a bad market, not the market to be in. But the interesting part is really the other side of the coin, which is the rapid adoption and the kind of people who are getting exposed to this space, right? And you are not just talking about the people from your country or from your region. You're talking about the people from all over the globe. And that's the beauty of this cryptocurrency space. And that is why I think it is so important to be invested into the space. Of course, this is not financial or investment advice. I'm just sharing my opinion. I'm sharing my perspective. And I hope that this gives you another perspective. This, gives you points to think on. And that's the whole idea of sharing my opinion. This is no way really to tell you that you should, this is what you should do. No, please do not listen to me. Please don't believe me. Do your own research. But this is just one of the perspectives that I want to share today, right? Right, so let's say hi to everyone first quickly, and then we jump onto the coin market. Some of the historic snapshot I'm going to show you today, and also I think the coin market, the cryptocurrency market, is much bigger than what everyone is expecting, and this is something that we're going to talk about today. And of course, in the morning video today, I spoke about how to make the best out of the bear market, and I will give you a little sense of in detail as to what exactly I meant in that video and how you can relate that video to this life. Hey Amit, hi, how are you? Hi Dinakar, hi Baldeep. How is your day? Amazing, awesome. Hi Deepak, please check Metamorph on CMC, it's a good investment. Hi Vishnu, Huobi, it's like a silent giant like Binance. It is. They know how to capture the market. Huobi already in India with OTC. Hi Andy, how are you? RJT, I'm fine bro, awesome. Great guys, so couple of things that I want to share. Okay, so the first one is this really the fact that Huobi has launched like 5 partners in 5 different countries. So what it actually means is that all the assets that you see on the coin market is all of a sudden will get exposed to more and more people in more and more countries. And so despite of coin market being at the low, you can see the kind of adoption which is taking place. Now more and more people will be able to access these kinds of assets, right? And this is really important to have this perspective, because see, now this is what I believe, okay, and let me know if you agree with this, that this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for everyone. And luckily that we got this opportunity to be a part of this economy and to be a part of this evolution or revolution, whatever you call. But the last one was similar to some of the people that I've already referred to, maybe during the .com bubble, .com and all the era. And so here is what I believe is just knowing things would not work. You got to really believe in things, just because, people, I'm sure a lot of people actually knew that the internet is going to be the biggest thing, but not many people actually believed in it. Many people didn't have that perspective. And it's the same thing with the cryptocurrencies and blockchain and Bitcoin space also. I think a lot of people know that this is the next big thing and this is coming, but not everyone believes into it. Not everyone believes that this is possible. And so this is why it is very important to stay grounded and really see what is happening into the space. And I want to give you a kind of perspective of what I spoke in the morning. I spoke something about like bear market and bull market, and this is so true. This is what happens, right? Most of the time. Let me just take you through some of the historic charts, and then we will go to that. Okay, so let me take you some historic charts. Okay, so let's talk about let me show you a coin market. Okay, so this is the coin market, right? This is the coin market. What's the price of a Bitcoin? 2,980. And there was no Ethereum. There is no Ethereum. Ripple is on number 2. Litecoin is on number 3. Okay. Do you think it goes down to 100? What are your thoughts on it? Who will be in USA as HBUS? Wow, great to hear such positive news. Amazing, yeah. Okay, so first of all, don't get scared to look at this coin market, guys. This is not the price of the Bitcoin, $216, no, $2,980. Okay, this is not the price. Ethereum does not even exist here. And then you have Ripple, you have Litecoin, you have BitShares. BitShares, I don't know where it's gone. Stellar is still here. But hey Sobia, how are you? True, Bitcoin is the talk of the town these days. Most of the people are at least familiar with the term. Amazing. Yeah, so what we're looking at right now is a snapshot of the coin market on 2015, and as you can see, where have you actually really come, right? So this is about the coin market in 2015, and I don't think the Ethereum was, okay, Ethereum was trading. Ethereum was, oh my god, this is not this one. Okay. Why will the government and big MNC use public blockchain? They can make their own private blockchain to implement blockchain tech in their product or services. Don't you feel it will impact growth of the crypto? Ambrit Murdoch, you're right. There are two kinds of blockchain. One is public blockchain, one is a private blockchain. And most of the governments are definitely going to use the private blockchain, and they should definitely do that. But that does not impact the usability and the use case of the public blockchain. You see, the public blockchain have a specific use case, right? And wherever there is a trust required from the public, wherever people need to trust, it will always be a public blockchain that will be trusted by millions and billions of people. But again, not for everything you can't have a public blockchain. There are some enterprises blockchain, there are some government institute and enterprises which will require to have certain information confidential, and that is when they would need the private blockchain. So these are two different use cases, two different audiences, two different industries that they will be used for. I think the maximum use is going to be for the public blockchain. And something that I want to really relate to your point here, that you said that why will government and big MNC use public blockchain? You're right, they won't use it. They would use something called as private blockchain. Now, the requirement of the public blockchain and the need of the public blockchain, it comes when billions of people and millions of people have to trust. And for example, let me give you an example of Bitcoin, right? The reason Bitcoin is a money all across the globe, right, is because there are millions of billions of people who need to trust something as money. And so if you are thinking, if you want to keep something as good as money as a private blockchain, I don't think you will be able to win trust of everybody, right? When it comes to winning the trust of each and every individual living on the planet Earth, you have to have a public blockchain. But when you want to win the trust of a handful of people, maybe 10 people, maybe 100 people, or maybe 200 people, so those are the scenario where you want to have a private blockchain. So let's say if you're an enterprise, if you're a firm, right? You're a group of firm, and then you not necessarily you want to share the data with the public. That is where you can have a public blockchain. But for something called as money, something called as social media platform, where public needs to interact, public needs to see the validation, it has to be a public blockchain, right? So there are two different use cases and two different industries. Not really the industries, it could be the same industry, but these are two different use cases that they will have. So governments and private organizations are not going to be using public blockchain, sure, and they should not be using it. Public blockchain will be used where it is required the most. For example, defining the money, right? Correct. So now this is the figure, okay? So now this is something that I want to share, is the reason being that over the last 10 years, right? Over the last 10 years, the cryptocurrency market has really come a long way. Let me just open up this one, historical snapshot. Let me know if do you want to see any particular date. So for example, let's have a look on January 3, 2016. Okay, over here, right? January, this is 2016, perfect. Yeah, so January 3, 2016, you have Bitcoin at $431, right? And the total market cap was how much? Oh, it won't show the total market cap, but yeah, crypto market. Hey Kaushik, how are you? Can we say private blockchain can be centralized version of a blockchain? Oh yes, it is a centralized version of the blockchain with open ledger. Yeah, but the ledger is open for the parties who are supposed to interact and participate. That ledger is not open for the normal public. That the ledger is open only for the defined participant, and that's the private blockchain. Right, Ethereum Classic is going to be listed. So guys, so the reason I want to show you this is basically, if you look at the long term, right, the network has really grown for the cryptocurrency market, and not so many users they used to exist in 2015 or 2016. The kind of ecosystem that you have right now, you didn't have that ecosystem ever before. And so the ecosystem around the cryptocurrency market is growing rapidly, and it's not growing just in one country or in one region. It's growing in all across the globe, right? So they have offices in Singapore, US, Japan, South Korea, Hong Kong, Thailand, Australia. And I'm not surprised at all, as Dinakar mentioned here in the chat, that probably Huobi is going to be the big competition for Binance, and I do think that's going to be very much possible. So overall, the point I'm trying to make here is that maybe the market is volatile, the market is deep, but we have come a long way, and this is getting bigger and bigger. Over here, it might get smaller, but over here, in terms of adoption, it's getting bigger and bigger. And something that I want to relate to the morning's video is that something when I said that you make money in the bear market and you don't make money in the bull market, I want to give you a few reference to that. For example, let's talk about the bull market. Now, people who bought Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in the month of November and December, when there was extreme bull market going on, when I say that you don't make money in the bull market, maybe I'm right. Because if anyone there who bought in the month of November and December when there was a bull market, they are the people who are actually in minus 60% and minus 50% and minus 70% probably. Is that right? Yes. But people who bought in the bear market, right? Maybe it was in January or February or March or April when there was no bull market. Those are the people who are still in the profit. And it is a similar case which is going to happen from here also, based on the historic prices that the way Bitcoin has behaved and the crypto market has behaved. According to us, this is the bear market. So if anyone out there who buys these cryptocurrencies now at this point in time in the bear market, in the next bull run, they will be profitable. But if they try to buy things in the bull market, they have to again wait for a year or maybe even 6 months to be profitable again. So this is what happens when you make decisions in the bear market. That is when you make the money. It is as simple as that. As its internal government company, what about ETC? By the way, ETC is going to be listed on the Coinbase. By the way, Coinbase has also filed for a patent direct Bitcoin payment system. Let's have a look at Coinbase. And okay, I had a Twitter. Let me see if I had a Twitter. Right, guys, you have Ethereum Classic, which is going to be listed on Coinbase right now. Let's see what's happening with Ethereum Classic. Well, we haven't seen much of a difference in the price of Ethereum Classic, though it is going to be listed, it is going to be featured on Coinbase. Buy and sell Ethereum Classic on Coinbase Consumer. Starting today, Coinbase Consumer supports Ethereum Classic on Coinbase.com. In every country, you see what does it mean? Consumer. They have named it to consumer. Send, receive Ethereum Classic along with Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum. So they have 5 points now. They have Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. So basically all of them are, no, not all of them, but 3 of them are Bitcoin fork and 2 of them is Ethereum. 1 is the fork of Ethereum. So you have 5 points in total. One of the most common requests we hear from customers is to be able to trade more assets on Coinbase. Ethereum Classic is just a first step in that direction. We announced last month that we are exploring a number of other assets to add to the platform. Guys, this is what I'm gonna talk. I was actually talking about that when you talk about these assets, you see what you're holding right now is actually a global asset. So it is being traded in USA, right? And never ever in the history this has happened that you had one certain commodity or certain asset which was being traded globally. Never ever happened. And that is why you are now concerned about the news all across the globe, not just in your country. You know, I mean, this is the biggest revolution. This is happening for the first time. Let me know if it has ever happened before. I would love to know from you. Smart contract developer can earn $30 per 4 hours even in India. Just hold it and learn blockchain because it's the future. Oh wow, that's pretty good price actually. $30, which is around 210 rupees. Is that right? Per 4 hours. Not bad. No, 2100 rupees. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Wow, that's pretty good amount. Just hold it and learn about the blockchain. Yeah, definitely. Even if open ledger can put the, and as rightly said Shiv, why so much hype is created when strategic partnership are done between big government MNC and any crypto coin. Even if they use particular crypto, it will be a private chain. Then why so much hype is created when strategic partnership is done between that's a very good point you made, Amrit. So here's what I think is that you can have these government organizations can use a public blockchain, right? But they can choose, I guess they can choose to keep certain things still private. And that is why whenever you hear about some tie-ups or partnership of a government on a public blockchain, there is so much of hype around it, which you made a very valid point. I mean, not many people would have actually even noted on this, that you know why the governments are not going to use it. So point basically you're trying to make is the governments are not going to make use anyway. But I think there are a few provisions, because when I was attending this international blockchain conference, when the government of Telangana signed up an MOU with Nucleus Vision to use it, I think you know what they can also do is they can build a project on top of that platform, on top of that blockchain, and they can define certain rules for the privacy. Maybe that's how it's going to work. I'm not really sure, but maybe this is how it's going to work, and that is why so many partnerships are taking place between the governments and the public blockchain. Yeah, but most of these partnerships are definitely hype. I mean, we are just too early. Guys, smash the likes. Smash the likes, please. Abhay says, any idea about EOS RAM? Is it a scam? No, it's not a scam. In fact, if you want to transact in EOS, if you want to send and receive EOS, there are no transaction fee. But you need to have some EOS, which is used for EOS RAM. So that's not a scam. That's for real, guys. I haven't explored EOS RAM much yet. I'm actually looking to have someone from EOS block producers team or someone on the channel who can really answer these questions though. It depends upon the openness of the blockchain, such as DLT nodes controlled by. True. Farhan Hussein, yeah. So I don't think any price impact on Ethereum Classic as yet. Usually, historically, this is what we have seen, that whenever, like it's the same thing that happened with Coinbase at the time they were listing Bitcoin Cash, right? It really went up from like $800 to about $3,200 when Coinbase was listing Bitcoin Cash. But I don't see the same kind of excitement with Ethereum Classic, and it's quite weird. Why not? Because every time, and this is what Coinbase is known for, that every time they announce a new coin to be listed, of course, in the middle somewhere there was the news of Ripple being listed on the Coinbase when you saw the jump going to about $2 or $1.5. But this time it's quite different. I mean, this time I don't see any jump in the price of Ethereum Classic, which is not normal. Usually you do see the jump of maybe 30-40%. So could you give us some light on ICO regulation, registration eligibility? Most of the ICOs are registered in Singapore. So what's registration process? Exactly. So I think, so the problem with the ICOs are like most of these countries do not have any regulations as yet. So I'm sure most of the ICOs are not even registered as yet, to be very honest. That's what I think. That's what has been happening, that so many ICOs are not registered at all. But now I see that some of the ICOs are registered in Switzerland, some of the ICOs are registered in Singapore, and of course some of the ICOs are registered in US with the permission of SEC. But for a very long time, I don't think any of the ICOs was ever registered in 2017. All these actually regulations and rules actually came out in the year 2018. So I don't think many of these ICOs are registered at all. I mean, this is the benefit of having a new technology, right? Since there is no regulation, people can just go ahead, write a white paper, build a code, and start their ICO without actually registering it. Because how can you register? Because there is no rules for that as yet, So I'm sure it's the same thing with India also, maybe. I don't see many of the ICOs actually being registered before actually they raise funds. Siva Krishna, hi. Will crypto crash again? First of all, I don't think so. And I don't call it a crash, Siva. I call it really a buying opportunities, because like I said in the earlier morning videos, that if you are thinking of making money in the cryptocurrency market and if you're waiting for the bull run, it's a wrong strategy. If anyone who starts buying into the bull run, you are bound to lose money. You won't make money. If somebody out there really want to make money and get a profit, you have to be buying into the bear market, because that is how you'll be able to get the profit. So will crypto crash again? I don't think so. This has been the price resistance for a very long time, $6,000. I don't see this going any further. Maybe it can go to 5K also before it starts pumping once again and starts going back to 10, 15 or whatever, in my opinion. Like I said, this is a long-term game. Be definitely prepared for anything. This is a new space, but definitely be here for the long term, and keep an expectations for at least 6 months or 1 year. This is a risky game, to be honest. It's a crash bubble popped, but best time to buy, I'm buying. Amazing. Great. XRP 2, awesome. For a flip, great. Your view on Ripple and Tron. So my view on Ripple and Tron is two of the two cryptocurrencies which are highly spoken in India. I don't know why. Ripple and Tron. And I don't have an extreme view on any of them. Not even Tron and not... So when I say not extreme, is that I'm not extremely bullish on them, and but I don't even think that they are bad investment also. So I'm quite neutral on Tron and XRP both. That's my stand on that. Hey Ani, how are you? I'm asking you to buy means it becomes lower. Probably Shiva. Tron also coming in different news. What is the scope of blockchain technology for Indian individuals other than investing, trading, and smart contracts development? What are the scope for the blockchain technology for the individuals? Well, I really can't think of anything, to be honest. I mean, the reason being that there are two use cases that we actually see, right, of blockchain technology is in the private sector and the public sector. And like you have already rightly mentioned that, for the general audience, for the general individuals, they are mostly interested into, holding these public blockchain assets. Right, on the individual nodes, apart from investing, trading, and smart contract development, I just can't think of anything. Maybe they can think of a better infrastructure which is being built by the government. Maybe they can rely on some better implementations of blockchain technology done by their governments, which will make their life easy, other than trading and investing, right? So that's what I think. Maybe a data storage. Maybe you have just one ID for all the banks and you don't have to do KYC at so many places. Basically, making everything easy for an individual in a certain country if the blockchain is adopted. That's all I can see. Your life becomes easier, just like with internet, everyone's life became easier. People can just order online things and they can be sitting at home and watch movies and things like that. So that's the kind of impact that I see in the individual's life. Vishal Goro says, sir, where do you see Startcoin? I haven't heard of the Startcoin as yet. Land registration, medicines, voting. Exactly. Yeah, this is what I meant to say actually. So that I can buy at that time. Amazing. Legality is not important to me, but India will lose. Hey Shiv, what's your view on 21 trillion US debt? Will see economy meltdown more severe than 2008? Yes, I 100% agree on that, Rahul. I think this time the economy crash is going to be much bigger than what it was in 2008. In fact, I was watching a video this evening. There was one country which was actually burning the US dollar, right? And they were literally burning the fiat money. There was in the video. I don't know if I can put that video on the YouTube tomorrow. But yes, I think it's going to be much bigger than what we have seen earlier. And so that is why, I mean, Robert Kiyosaki, if you have heard of him, he has come here. I mean, this guy is a financial expert, right? And this guy has clearly said that the best money and the best bet, your best bet would be is gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies. He didn't mention that it's USD or it's fiat money. So that's pretty much symbolizes that the economy will crash, because the whole economy right now is built around a fiat money, which is nothing but a bubble. And I think we are very close to a decade now, 2018. I think maybe 2019 or 2020 we might see a huge bubble, and that's when you will see really the prices of Bitcoin and Ethereum really going up, because they will have the real utility. See, the fiat money does not have the utility. It does have a random number printed on it, and people actually, I think it's Turkey. Yeah, I think it was Turkey. I think I'm not really sure it was Turkey. Probably yes. They were burning some US dollars. Alright guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for joining me today. Just want to keep it very short so that other people can also watch it later on. But I really appreciate you joining. 19 people watching. Hit the like, guys. I appreciate you coming down here, sharing your thought at the end of the day as to what you think about the cryptocurrencies, really giving your inputs to the whole space. And I'm glad that I'm able to share my perspective of what I think, where the market is heading, where the space is heading. One thing that I can surely tell you, that this is definitely a long-term game. This is not a short-term game. This is the internet 2.0. And so if you want to be somebody like who did accumulate good wealth and were a part in changing the world for better, like Facebook, Bill Gates, Snapchat and Instagram and whatnot, I think these are the new kind of internet products that you will see emerging right now on the coin market, which have a token economy and which will be bigger sometime in the future. It's all about being excited about the same, looking out for the opportunity, spotting the opportunity, and making the best out of it. I'm glad that I'm a part of this journey with you. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you. Okay, mom. Oh, thanks a lot. Oh, wow. Dinakar, you really have it. Thank you so much, Dinakar. Thank you so much, buddy. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Hit the like, leave the comment, and good night.
Wonderful.